Hailey Van Lith, TCU star. I think the 11th pick in the WNBA draft. She got drafted by the Chicago Sky. She used to be teammates with Angel Reese, who is the star. I wouldn't call her the best player on the Chicago Sky. She's the star of the Chicago Sky. People are gossiping that Van Lith wants nothing to do with playing with Angel Reese again. He transferred after 1 year at LSU.
Did Hailey Van Lith just deliver one of the most uncomfortable first impressions in WNBA draft history? Chosen 11th overall by the Chicago Sky, her reaction to reuniting with former LSU teammate Angel Reese had all the enthusiasm of someone watching Reese sink a routine layup.
The young lady out of TCU has been reunited with Angel Reese. Now, you may be like, well, what's the big deal there? Because she already got the hell away from her once. She escaped her once.
As if things weren't already heating up, Hailey Van Lith took it a step further by throwing shade at Caitlin Clark, live on national television. Are we witnessing the beginning of the most cringe-worthy rookie season in WNBA history? Could Van Lith be the unlikely force that finally brings Reese and Clark fans together? Let's unpack the drama. Buckle up.
11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Hailey Van Lith, Texas Christian University.
The 2025 WNBA draft was supposed to be a night of dreams realized and new beginnings. But when Hailey Van Lith was announced as the 11th overall pick by the Chicago Sky, the cameras captured a moment no one expected. While most draftees beamed with joy, shed happy tears, or celebrated their big break, Van Lith's face told a different story, one that many fans instantly labeled as sheer horror. Her uneasy expression, followed by what seemed like genuine discomfort during a post-selection interview, quickly stole the spotlight and became the most talked-about moment of the night.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, the facial expression did look a little, I guess, uneasy.
The contrast was impossible to miss. While other draft picks celebrated with joyful embraces, raised fists, and proud grins, Hailey Van Lith looked like she'd just stepped into a nightmare. The moment her name was called, her eyes widened. Her smile vanished, and a wave of visible distress swept across her face. Though she quickly regained composure, the internet had already seen the unfiltered moment and ran with it. One viral post summed it up with brutal honesty. Hailey Van Lith smiling through the pain of returning to toxic hell, racking up over 6 million views. Fans immediately sensed the deeper tension at play. This wasn't just about getting drafted, it was about being thrown back into the orbit of Angel Reese, a former LSU teammate with whom Van Lith shared a well-known, uneasy past.
Good energy with Courtney Vandersloot. You can learn from her. You're paired back with Angel Reese. There's some good energy you can walk into in Chicago, right?
Oh, I love that energy. We're ready.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The awkward vibes only escalated during Van Lith's post-draft interview, especially when the topic of reuniting with Angel Reese came up. Her response, an unconvincing, "Oh, I love that energy," landed with all the authenticity of a scripted infomercial. The delivery was stiff, the tone hollow, and viewers picked up on it instantly. Critics jumped on the moment, turning her quote into a meme and using it as ammo to question just how genuine this so-called reunion really was.
Of that energy, she had a chance to drop. Great. Angel and I are familiar with each other from LSU. This is going to be awesome. Just easy, natural comments to make. It's my understanding that every one of those teammates at LSU hated playing with Angel.
What amplified the discomfort even further was the jarring contrast between Van Lith's visible unease and Reese's high-energy optimism. While Van Lith looked like she was mentally preparing for a storm, Reese jumped on social media with a bold message. "We ain't do it right the first time. Let's run it back." Depending on your perspective, the post came off as either cheerfully oblivious or subtly provocative, fueling even more speculation about the real dynamics behind this unexpected reunion.
Her facial expressions, like you saw them coming in to the video, her facial expressions were like, the F just happened.
Draft night chaos quickly reignited conversations that had, until then, been mostly whispers surrounding Van Lith's rocky stint at LSU. After transferring from Louisville to join the reigning national champions in 2024, expectations were sky high, but the reality was far from it. The once prolific guard, known for putting up nearly 20 points per game, saw her scoring average plummet to just 11.6 while playing alongside Angel Reese. The sharp decline raised eyebrows and added more weight to the speculation about behind-the-scenes tension. Clip 8 LSU head coach Kim Mulkey's once cryptic remarks suddenly took on a whole new meaning in light of the draft night drama. When questioned about potential locker room tensions during the season, Mulkey had offered an ominous response. Sometimes talent doesn't always equal chemistry. At the time, it seemed like a vague coach-speak deflection, but now it reads more like a warning shot aimed at the storm brewing behind the scenes.
Get this face. Look at this face. God bless her. I mean, the pain and anguish. That's not, I'm about to lose it and I'm happy to be drafted and all. No, let's not even go down that road.
When you factor in Reese's mysterious mid-season absence and Van Lith's eventual transfer to TCU, the bigger picture starts to come into focus. Draft night wasn't just awkward, it was revealing. Van Lith's reaction went beyond basketball. It was about mental health, self-preservation, and reclaiming control over her journey. As Jason Whitlock highlighted, Van Lith has been candid about her mental health struggles, even breaking down on camera while describing how much better life felt at TCU. That move wasn't just strategic, it was necessary. So being drafted by Chicago, effectively reuniting her with the very environment she'd deliberately left behind, felt less like fate and more like a cruel cosmic loop.
Always have to deal with locker room issues. That's just part of coaching. In 40 years, I can never think of a time where I didn't have to deal with issues. That's what coaches do. Sometimes y'all know about them and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to know more than you're entitled to know. I'm going to protect my players, always. They are more important. It's like a family, Scott. Let me ask you this. If you do some disciplining of your own children, do you think we're entitled to know?
For the Chicago Sky, this situation raises some hard-hitting questions. Did they just select a player who's already facing serious chemistry issues with their presumed franchise star, Angel Reese? Will the tension between Van Lith and Reese begin to undermine team cohesion before the season even starts? What was once speculation has now turned into something undeniable. Those concerns about team chemistry are no longer just fan gossip. They're etched on Van Lith's face for the world to see.
Does not look like a girl that was excited to be selected where she was selected. And Jason, I think if I'm reading in between the lines, these two did not enjoy playing with each other the first time. So I don't know why either one of them would be excited to run it back. I think could there maybe, Jason, do I detect some potential jealousy maybe here between Angel Reese, who wants to be the central figure in every story that she's a part of, including the little feud, the beef between, with her and Caitlin Clark?
The concerns about team chemistry weren't just apparent on draft night. The signs had been there in the numbers long before Van Lith's expression said it all. When a player goes from being a headline star to barely making an impact, the statistics speak louder than any words could. They tell the story of what really transpired behind closed doors.
I think Hailey would be reluctant to re-engage with a narcissist who was on a WNBA team last year that instead of trying to win games and compete, you would see them at the end of games. Hey, Angel needs to score 4 more points and it'll take her about 7 to 8 to 10 shots to get there. And so they would shut down everything they do and feed the ball to Angel Reese at the end of the game so she could keep her double-double streak alive.
At Louisville, Van Lith wasn't just a key player, she was the heart of the offense, averaging 19.7 points per game and ranking among the top scorers in college basketball. But after transferring to LSU, her numbers took a dramatic hit, plummeting more than 40% to just 11.6 points per game. This steep drop raises critical questions about her role within the offense and how she was utilized, or perhaps underutilized, during her time there.
Already experienced what's it like to play with Angel Reese, who is a narcissist and selfish, and my understanding, a nightmare for all teammates.
But the raw scoring numbers only scratch the surface. What's more revealing is how Van Lith's opportunities seem to vanish entirely. Game tape from LSU's season exposes a troubling trend. Van Lith was frequently relegated to the corner, sidelined from the flow of the offense, left waiting for passes that rarely came. Meanwhile, Angel Reese took control of the offense, dominating shot attempts, possessions, and offensive rebounds.
HVL is feeling sick. I feel terrible for her. I do. The year before at Louisville, almost 20 a game. What does that tell you about her hell that she's got coming? She got away once. She can't.
This wasn't just a matter of bad luck or an ill-suited fit. It was a clear pattern. Basketball analysts quickly picked up on Van Lith's dwindling role and the frustration that came with it. Time and again, she found herself open for shots, only to be overlooked by her teammates, trapping her in a cycle where her contributions were ignored. The offensive strategy at LSU raised red flags that echoed troubling reports about the Chicago Sky's system. Just as LSU's offense seemed designed to pad Reese's stats, rumors suggested that the firing of Teresa Weatherspoon as head coach of the Sky stemmed from an offense too focused on maintaining Reese's double-double streak at the expense of overall team success.
Whining about equal pay, that she's underpaid. If you see this, obviously, she's only making $70,000 to jack up brick layups and airball layups somehow in games that no one wants to watch. Oh, poor me, I'm only making $70,000. Not mentioning the additional couple, probably million she's making in sponsorship and additional revenues allotted to her from.
Think about what this means for Van Lith's development. A player who once thrived as the primary option was suddenly relegated to a secondary role that didn't showcase her strengths. Her shooting percentages plummeted. Her confidence waned, and the player who once dominated at Louisville became nearly unrecognizable. Excited to see Caitlin Clark back on the court? Drop a CC in the comments, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you next time.